Welcome, welcome. This week's installment of the No Fun League name TBD podcast. It may look like we are doing another Tom Griffin manager in the mirror. I don't know. I think Dan might automatically be top left, but he is on the hot seat today. It is Danager in the mirror with co-host Tom Griffin. I don't want to hear about the podcast showing too much love to Tom Griffin. Wow.
I mean, if that's not the podcast showing love to Tom Griffin.
I just don't want to hear about favoritism because Tom was the first, but also the only to volunteer for the position. So he's back. Tom, welcome back.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I know I'm not the star of the show today, but super happy to be here. This is my happy place. I'm lo Anytime you need someone, ring me. I love to be here.
Dan, how are we?
It's I don't know, feels a little weird. Feels like backwards sitting in this seat. I'll try to keep it together.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, we'll hop right in with a little 2024 Funky Bunch recap. Now, he came into the year off the last season, which he finished 9-6, was the 4 seed, but second in points for, and then lost to Brent in round one by 14 points, and then won the third place game by 21. Tom is already cracking it up. The quarterback draft, he kept his man Josh Allen at the 102, and then traded Jaden Reed to move up and draft Dak at the 203, and then finished it off with Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes at the 302. The day of the draft, the rookie draft, he received Alexander Madison and the picks that became Javon Baker and Jordan Travis, as well as Tom's 26th third, to give Tom the pick that was Jerome Burton, right? I just
Yep,
picked on his first name.
you got it.
And then in the draft, he added the long time core of the team now, JJ McCarthy,
Still a
at the
good pick.
107. The two I just mentioned, Javon Baker and Jordan Travis. And then Cade Stover at the 608. September 4th, action had begun, and he sought to make a move. So he received Travis Kelce, James Conner, and Deebo Samuel for this year's 109, 209, the 2630 got from Tom, Cole Kmet, Jordan Whittington, and Javon Baker. And then September 26th, grabbed Nico Collins and the 201 this year for JJ McCarthy, Malik Willis, Michael Wilson, and sent his 26 first, 27 first, and 27 second on top of that. November 10th, gearing up for playoffs, he received Cooper Rush and Jesse's 26 fourth for his 27 third. And then December 5th, to shore up the QB room yet again, received Jameis and the 308 this year for Cade Stover and the 209 this year. He ended up finishing 10-5, bit of an improvement, second seed. First in points for by 100. Beat Nico by 20 round one and lost in the finals to me by 20. He has no picks in the top 3 rounds that show up on Sleeper. So that's till 2028. He will be out of that. What a season, Dan. Not one that's too far off your usual script, but certainly one that most in this league would take.
Yeah.
Um,
A script that's getting a little stale. I think it's clearly championship or bust at this point. But I mean, I best you can do is put the best lineup together you can. And I mean, I scored 100 more points than anyone in the regular season. You got me in the chip. We'll be back next year.
I did forget to reference Dan's album here. I know he's a Pink Floyd fan. That is Pink Floyd's The Wall. But I also pick it because he ran into a wall this year, and that wall was the Certified Lover Boys.
All right. Well, let me rise real quick because gotta give some love to my favorite album of all time, The Wall. Rocking it right there. A little
Oh,
behind the scenes for you.
And your favorite
So,
album you were ever gifted, Led Zeppelin 4.
yes, sir. It's true.
So first and foremost, you know how this thing works. We're gonna start with what's up with Dan Marks.
Things are going really good. Um, I took the long way through nursing school, but I graduated in December. I'm an RN now. I'm a whole ass nurse. Working in Morgantown, still in West Virginia for a couple months. But I've been working as a nurse and loving it. Um, Saturday, I had my first code, and it was traumatic. Um, it was some Grey's Anatomy shit. It was a patient with a trach, and it just started bleeding, and it was coming out her mouth. It was like a once in a lifetime, like brutal arrest. But yeah, so
what was her name and birth date, if you don't mind me asking?
her name was Robin, and her birth date was I don't know.
Were you
Um,
Batman in this instance?
say what?
Were you Batman?
I don't know who Batman was in this case. I think the Joker might have won that day.
Oh, did she not pull through?
She did not pull through. We coded her. We did a code on her for over an hour, and her heart came
Wait,
back 3 times, and then she ultimately died.
oh my God.
It was crazy.
And Tom was making jokes. Put that on the record, stenographer. Tom insensitive.
Yeah, everyone keep Robin in your prayers, I guess.
What is start to the podcast?
Yeah,
Holy,
Well, we asked what was up with Dan Marks. I mean,
that's
it's
what's been up. I keep, but no, I'm loving nursing. I'm excited moving forward, and those of you who live closer to home, closer to the Jers, may see me in a hospital near you in a couple months. We'll see.
hell yeah.
I don't know if we want to see you in a hospital, considering what happened to Robin.
You probably don't, regardless.
Yikes. All right, Tom.
Yeah. Well, great to hear it. Well, I don't know if that's great to hear. Um, Happy to see you smiling though. But let's talk some football. So you're currently looking at no picks in the top 3 rounds until 2028. Is that something you see changing? What do you think the Funky Bunch looks like in 2027? Let's zoom out. Let's big picture this. Where does the Funky Bunch go from here?
It's a good question. It's not ambiguous what the vision is, where we stand as a team. We've been a top dog contender now basically since the startup. Um, and I still have, I mean, talking about just the core and looking at everything else, you would take my team over everyone else's by a lot. Factor in draft capital, factor in depth. Obviously, the questions are really starting to pile up. But I mean, I still have a championship core, and the plan is to keep that window open as long as I can. And 2027 picks aren't going to help me, except for buying more players later. So I I'm always open to anything. I definitely would not close the door on buying some draft capital. I tend to get kind of starry-eyed about a player, an idea, and I'll go after it. So I think it's probably likely that happens some point in the next 3 drafts. Um, but no, I definitely still see myself as a buyer and a team that's just 100% win now. What'll happen in 2027, I don't know.
Good stuff. Um, so yeah, like you were just getting into, presumably the only way that you make a foundational change to this team would be to sell one of your big pieces, one of your huge dynasty assets. I was just wondering if anyone, as of today, is untouchable.
Josh. Josh is untouchable. Um, Josh Allen is untouchable. The big three at receiver, Jamar, CD, and Jettas. I'm not going to call them untouchable because I mean there will probably be a point where it's just not an option. I kind of am gonna have to liquefy something. Um, Now my choice would be Nico of that core just because he's not quite to the level of those three receivers, but no, short of Josh Allen, no one's untouchable.
Is
Um,
that, I
follow
feel
up.
like I feel like I hear someone in the
We've got
Oh,
a guest on the
Good evening,
announcement.
gentlemen.
is that Eric Goldberg?
Who
It is
let
I,
this guy
Eric
in?
Goldberg. I am the commissioner of the esteemed Choke Artist Hall of Fame, and I apologize for catching you off guard, but it is a long-standing tradition of the Chokers to surprise our new initiates. So, Daniel Marks, the story of our hall is one old as time itself. From Eve in the Garden of Eden to Icarus and the Wings to King George, history's greatest bag fumblers find their way into our hall and are immortalized for their inability to get it done. It is my profound honor to extend to you an invitation to our ranks. Ryan, it is my understanding that you would like to say a few words before I continue.
this is catching me super off guard. But yes, Eric, thank you. What a moment. I have known Dan since he was a wee lass, and though he always had potential, I never thought he'd reach such heights. I still remember the days where he would win things sometimes. Not always, but certainly more than he does now. To think that now he is getting a visit from Eric Goldberg himself, who has helped such esteemed chokers as the 2016 Golden State Warriors, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, and Doc Rivers ascend to their shameful place in history. I'm speechless. For those out there who don't know, I recently beat Dan Marks and the Funkybunch in the finals. He was a unanimous favorite to win it all, but just like in years past, he came up well short. I am honored to have my name in the storybooks as one of the many to dash Dan's playoff dreams and to be a notch in his tally of disappointments. It is not my first time beating Dan in the playoffs, but to think this one may have been what put him over the edge into suckage infamy, it's almost too much. Eric, please continue with the ceremony.
That was beautiful stuff, Ryan, especially to put you on the spot like that, for you to come up with that off the dome. Amazing. So, Daniel Marks, by the power vested in me by choke artists everywhere, I now pronounce you a member of the Chokers Eternal 2025 class. Other members of the class include the 2016 to 2017 Atlanta Falcons, the entire Buffalo Bills franchise, and Goliath. May you continue to occupy playoff spots in this league for years to come, only to waste the opportunity yet again. I know avoiding even so much as a championship berth most years in a two-round playoff, despite making the playoffs every single year, is difficult, but you have proven that you can pull it off a majority of the time. I turn the podcast back to you, handsome gentlemen.
Thank you, Eric. Wow.
Thank you, Eric.
I cannot believe that we just got visited by Eric Goldberg on behalf of Chokers Eternal or whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean, me
Wow.
and Ryan had no clue that was.
Not even a single clue that that was happening.
I
I
don't even know
feel
how he got in the Zoom.
I feel like Goliath. Um, a bold speech for one of the five teams that has a ring and for the team that has been the most consistent high performer in the league. Calling out my lack of championship appearances in another season where no one short of me and you made the championship.
Yeah,
Tom,
man.
I don't know how you feel about all this sitting there without a ring or in a spot in a cool exclusive club. I guess some of us are just blessed.
Yeah, I think that was an honor, Dan. I hope it's not taking you the wrong way.
Frankly, I
Yeah.
feel a little honored. I sometimes I can't help but smile.
To join such an esteemed group, including the 1990 to 1993 Buffalo Bills, who lost the Super Bowl 4 straight years in a row, it's got to feel special. So congratulations, Dan. Chokers everywhere are looking up to you.
Color me proud.
Back to the ball. Um, we talked about selling off one of those big receivers. I think the one logical way that could make sense is if you're looking to add some running backs, as the running back is pretty clearly your most tenuous positional group. How do you feel about the room as a whole, and do you see a path to relevance for current free agents, Nick Chubb and Ezekiel Elliott, in any sort of situation?
How do I feel about the running back room? It feels like it's held together by popsicle sticks and glue sticks. I don't feel that I think it's unlikely right now that it is beneficial to me, win now and long term, to pay up the kind of capital or to go get a running back that would make my running back room anything but questionable as hell. Um, we're gonna ride it with James Conner. We're gonna ride it with Tony Pollard and ETN, and then my hodgepodge. I've got about 6 backup running backs, 7 backup running backs, and the Alexander Madisons of the world, and the oh my gosh, the guy on the Bills who I just traded for,
Ty Johnson.
Ty Johnsons of the world, are going to do enough. And if they're not, then
I mean,
I'll have 2028 picks to sell. So
there you go. I mean, we've seen ETN do it before. I wouldn't be writing him off. I believe in the Jags a lot more this year than last. And he had the RB3 season the year he left my squad. So
I'm just asking him to be a RB3.
yeah, well, Pollard looked okay when healthy. I don't think the Titans really add there. And Connor seems to be falling a little bit, but
I'm
it
pretty
could
excited
be
about
together
that.
just enough. Now we just got into your last season a little bit with Eric Goldberg, but when you look back on it, how do you feel about it? And is there a bar that you need to reach this season for it not to be a disappointment?
Again, the bar going into the last season, the bar the season before that, the bar the season before that is always win a championship. My team's too good. We've been a winner long enough that winning isn't enough. We need rings. Um, but ultimately, like I said, I can't. It's a luck game. It's a random game. I can put together the team, and if it doesn't work, hindsight is 2020, I guess. But I had a great year. Jamar Chase was a ton of fun. I'm not gonna stop soaking up and just trying to live in and love the moment of Josh's prime. Um, I love these guys, CD, Jettas. Super excited about Nico. Kittle's one of my favorite players ever. It's hard to call it a complete failure. I had a ton of fun. I love this league. We were talking about how the league as a whole this season has been amazing. We are just on fire, and that's been a ton of fun. So a lot to look back on and smile about, but hopefully in 2026 it'll be with a different piece and a real chain around my neck.
Dan, I think I heard Tom Brady say that after he lost one of those Super Bowls. I think he was like, "At least I had fun," and I think that's really I'm really happy that you had fun last year.
Mentality for sure. Yeah.
I've always been more of a Josh Allen than a Tom Brady. I don't know what to tell you.
So your Nico Collins acquisition was a finalist for Trade of the Year at the NFLs and a huge addition to your already notorious wide receiver room. Walk us through that. Was Collins just someone you wanted a share of that you didn't have in other leagues, or was there any thought in committing those resources towards maybe a running back or a different position?
Um, there wasn't any thought of making that purchase anywhere else. Jesse put him on the block. I saw he was a guy to be had, and short of the top echelon of guys, I think Nico is squarely in that second tier. I felt that way. Obviously, I felt the same week 3 or 4 whenever I did this. And historically speaking, when I've seen a window to go get what I think is like a championship caliber elite player, especially if it's a receiver, um, I'm willing to go after it. So I saw the window. I saw teams around me around this league shaping up. You know, a lot of strong competition last year, and I saw my flex depth rough Debo, a lot of Khalil Shakir, upgrading that into Nico Collins at the flex spot. I felt like did elevate my team another level. And I mean, like I said, while this window's open, I'm doing everything I can to maximize my shots.
Good stuff.
Great trade for Jesse, though. I mean, huge win for him. If I was Jesse, I would have taken less for Nico Collins.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely got a good haul out of you. Last question we've got here, until last question I've got for you, sorry. Who are you most excited to see take a jump this year on your roster?
It's hard when you say take a jump. Right, it would be JJ. I'd be stoked for JJ McCarthy this year. But I mean, you look across the rest of the lineup and it's all guys who you don't really see taking jumps. You kind of hope just keep doing what they've been doing. I'll say Dak, I guess, as kind of an outside the box answer. The Dak CD stack, I paid up for it, and obviously last year wasn't the year for it. But I don't have any doubt that a healthy Dak Prescott next year, if him and CD are both playing in the fantasy playoffs, it'll be the championship caliber stack that it's supposed to be. And I feel like I missed out on that this year. So I'll say Dak.
Are you bummed that the Cooper Rush Dak stack is gone?
A little. I mean, I don't have a third quarterback unless Daniel Jones wins that job. So I need the handcuffs. I might be in the same spot next year where I'm shipping stuff off to go get some scrubs.
Maybe Jameis Winston beats out Rush or Russ. You have no idea.
I thought I was really thinking Jameis was going to start and it was just going to be awesome. But, you know,
To
that
be honest, I think if they did not sign Russ, I think they definitely would have gone for someone in the draft. I don't think there was a world where Jameis was going to just be like the outright starter. Maybe he would have beat out the rookie, but
I say, I think
definitely would.
if it was Shador or something like that, I don't know if they would have started off the rip. I think there was a real shot for Jameis. They didn't pay Jameis like a starter, but
Yeah.
the potential of it was enticing.
Now you're a Bills fan. What do you think about Khalil Shakir's potential to make a jump this year?
I'm stoked about it. Take a jump. I don't know. I think Keon Coleman will take a jump this year. I'm still waiting on the other shoe to drop for Dalton Kincaid. I think it will happen. I don't know where that leaves Shakir. He's an important part of the offense. They just paid him. He's not going anywhere. And ultimately, as my fifth wide receiver, de facto second flex, I'm more than happy. And another stack, you know.
You don't think Debo gets it back, or are you still backing up those claims?
I would start Shakir over Debo right now. I mean, Debo's probably going to have to play for me, and that is definitely a little sketchy. Well, we'll see what happens.
Good stuff. All right. Well, you know the age-old one. Who's going to take it all this year, and who's going to fill up the bottom of the table?
Who's going to take it all? It's easy. We're adding our second ring. The firepower on this team, all we need is it to click at the right time. I showed last year, I think, that the ceiling on my team is still bar none the best in the league. And it's that's my winner. Last place, another easy one. It's Jesse. The pieces just aren't there yet. Like I said, I've liked what he's doing. I think now is a great time to be leaning into the tank when everyone else is at least a little competitive. So I think it's going to be a straight shot for Jesse to the 101.
Good stuff. All right. Well, this was a rather brief episode, I guess. I may have spent a little bit more prep time on the Eric Goldberg surprise than questions. But it was definitely good to pick the brain of Dan Marks
Do
before
we
we
get
get
do
out of
we get
here.
one last question from Dan? Um, do you have a rival heading into this
Oh,
season? Any team you're maybe fearful of, or just someone that you just can't wait to square off with? Any of those that you have someone in mind for?
Fearful of, I think there's a lot of other contenders. I've been high on Nico's team. I think the rookies that underwhelmed this year, if they take steps forward, which they should, I still think that is a really serious, really scary team in the making. Do I have a rival? Whoever I play that week. Whoever I play in the playoffs.
uh, so I didn't light your fire a little bit with the spanking in the finals and
know we know who the GOAT is. We know what the all-time best franchise is. We know who everyone has been shooting at for a while now. And from up here, I don't feel like looking down.
wow, on a tier of his own. So he says. All right, anything to say? Or actually, I want to know how you feel about certain things floated as potential changes to the league. We do have the commissioner on the hot seat. I feel there's no better time. Starting with tight end premium.
Um, I like tight end premium in leagues. I don't think we need it. I think the super flex switch was so worth it. I've said that before. I think it's been awesome. I don't think tight end premium is as significant of a change to the dynamic of the league to make it worth the headache of the value shifts and redistributions and stuff.
Okay. What about five-team playoff?
Interested. Um, I think that's fun. It makes sense. We started 4 out of 8. Both of our expansion teams are at a spot to be competitive, to be in the hunt now. And I think it opens up the playoff race, gives us a longer playoffs, which is fun. I'm in support of a 5-team playoff.
I gotta say, having run it in a league I founded this year, the entire league was watching. And this is someone that wasn't in it. I have a little slow burn from the startup draft. Didn't even look at the postseason for most of the season. But when everyone's watching that 4v5 playing game, I think it builds the league. And then of course we know Dan's very anti sixth round in the rookie draft.
I
I
think
think
it's
that might
fun.
be
I don't see a reason to get rid of it.
all right. Well, does anyone have anything else for the league before we get going here?
Thank you guys. It was an honor to hop on today. It was an honor to get a surprise. I don't know what from a dear friend. I'll try to wear it with honor. We'll see if we can run it back next year.
Anything?
No, nothing to add to that. Super excited for the upcoming season. Super excited for the rookie draft coming up. I know we previously floated an idea of doing it in person. Hopefully that comes to fruition. If not, sure I'll see you lads in New Jersey soon.
Sir.
Sure. All right. Well, I think Tom's off to get some froyo. Zach Fedor, if you made it this far, text froyo to the chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for hopping on, gentlemen. And God bless this league.
God bless.